We are in the chapter respiration and circulation. In last lecture, we had studied about composition of blood in detail. There we had studied about leukocytes and thrombocytes. In today's lecture, we are going to study about heart. So a very good afternoon and welcome to the chapter again to study external structure of heart. So chapter respiration and circulation heart. When we say heart, heart is the main pumping organ of the circulatory system. Why it is called as the pumping organ? Because heart, it pumps the blood to different organs of our body. What happens if heart stops pumping? If heart stops pumping the blood will not reach the organs. So there will be deficiency of oxygen to the tissues and tissues will stop working. As a result, the person may die also. So that is why heart is one of the most important organ of our body and it is the main pumping organ and that is why it is said it is the main pumping organ of the circulatory system. When we see heart, it is reddish brown in color, it is hollow structure, it is muscular organ, that is it is made up of muscles and it is roughly the size of one's fist. Fist means what? This is called as clenched fist. So when it's the structure of heart, if you clench your fist, okay, so that much is that is a closed feet you can say, okay, the closed hand you can say, okay. So that is the size of one's fist. If you close your what you can say hand, okay, palm basically, you can see that is called as the one's fist. So it is the roughly the size of one's fist. Now in males, it weighs around 300 grams, whereas in female, it weighs around 250 grams. It is conical shape and it lies in mediastinum. Now what is mediastinum? That is the space between the two lungs. Okay, I'll show you in the diagram properly. So it is roughly conical in shape and it lies in between the two lungs. So that position is called as mediastinum. Now, when we see heart, it is broader at the upper end. When it is broader at the upper end, it is called as base, whereas when it is conical, at the lower end. So that is called as apex. Now, conical end is slightly tilted to the left side and it rests above the diaphragm. Now, what is diaphragm? Diaphragm, it is the band of muscles which separates thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. Let us see with the help of diagram. See, this entire thoracic cavity. Below the thoracic cavity, there is a band of muscles here somewhere. It is called as diaphragm. Okay, so heart lies in between the two lungs. We know this is the thoracic cavity and in between the thoracic cavity, lungs are very well protected. And in between the two lungs, the heart lies. Okay, so the heart, this is called as the base of the heart, which is broader, whereas this is apex and the apex is conical and slightly tilted. So this is the position of heart. It is mediastinum. Mediastinum means what? It lies between the two lungs. Okay, and it lies above the diaphragm. Here will be the diaphragm. So it lies just above the diaphragm. Now when we say structure of heart, heart is enclosed in a membranous sac called as pericardium. Can you see this is pericardium? This entire structure is called as pericardium. So the heart, it is well enclosed in a membranous structure called as pericardium. This is pericardium. Pericardium is formed of two main layers. Okay, pericardium is formed of two main layers. The outer layer is the fibrous layer. This is the fibrous layer. So this entire is pericardium. Pericardium is formed of fibrous pericardium, which is the outermost layer, whereas the inner layer, this is called as serous layer. Inner layer is also called as parietal layer. Okay, so pericardium, this is pericardium formed of two layers. Outer layer is called as fibrous pericardium, whereas the inner layer is called as serous pericardium. Now, when we see serous pericardium, that is the inner layer, it is soft, moist, and elastic. How it is? It is soft. Okay, it is this layer, serous layer, it is soft, it is moist. Okay, so that no desiccation of heart takes place. Okay, and it is moist and elastic. Elastic, why elastic? So that when the heart contracts and relaxes, elasticity allows the heart to contract and relax. Now, it is formed of squamous epithelium. The serous layer, how it is made up of? It is formed of squamous epithelium. Okay, and this serous layer is further divided into parietal layer and visceral layer. Can you see? This serous layer is divided into parietal layer. This is parietal layer and this is visceral layer. Visceral means inner. We know visceral organs. Visceral organ means what? The organ which lies inside our body, that is called as visceral organs. Similarly, here also the serous layer, that is serous pericardium. Okay, serous pericardium. Again, I am repeating. Pericardium is made up of two layers. Fibrous pericardium. Outer is fibrous pericardium, and inner is serous pericardium. Serous pericardium कैसा होता है? It is soft, it is moist and elastic. Serous pericardium is again divided into outer layer, which is called as parietal layer, whereas the inner layer of serous pericardium, it is called as visceral pericardium. In between the parietal layer, that is serous parietal layer, and fibrous parietal layer, a space is present. Okay, and this space is filled by or basically the space is called as pericardial space. Okay, this is pericardial space, and this pericardial space is filled by a fluid. What does this fluid does? This fluid, it helps as a lubricant. Lubricant means what? It prevents friction during contraction and relaxation. So you can see here is the space, okay, between the parietal layer and the visceral layer. This is the space. This space, you can see this is the space, and this space is filled by a fluid. The name of the fluid is pericardial fluid. Now, how much amount of fluid is present? About 50 ml of pericardial fluid is present. Okay, and what is the function of this pericardial fluid? It acts as a shock absorber. Shock absorber means what? Suppose if you fall down very badly or someone hits you on the chest, okay? So this acts as a shock absorber. It protects the shocks, okay? As well as it helps the heart from the mechanical injuries. Mechanical injuries means what? It prevents damage, okay? It prevents damage of the tissues of the heart, or any damage to the tissues of the heart or walls of the heart, that is called as mechanical injuries. Now, what this pericardial fluid does? Also, the pericardial fluid, it keeps the heart moist and acts as a lubricant. जैसे oil कैसे lubricant होता है? If your vehicle has enough of oil, okay, so it rides smoothly, okay. But if suppose there is no oil, there will be friction between the parts of the machine. Similarly, here also the lubricant, the pericardial fluid, it acts as a lubricant. Now, the walls of the heart. Here we are going to study about walls of the heart. Now, heart is mesodermal in origin. Mesodermal, we know that in our body, there are three germ layers. Our body is formed from three germ layers: the outer layer, inner layer, and middle layer. Okay, outer layer is called as ectoderm, middle layer is called as mesoderm. Okay, whereas the inner layer is called as endoderm. Some of the parts of the body they are formed from different layers. So heart is developed from the mesodermal layer, and that is why it is called as heart is mesodermal in origin. Now the wall is formed of 3 layers. Okay, this is the heart wall. Okay, the heart wall is formed of 3 layers. Which are the 3 layers? The outer epicardial layer. Can you see this? This one. Okay, so this is the outer epicardial layer. Okay, the middle mesocardial layer or mesocardium layer, and the outer one, or basically the inner one, sorry, is called as endocardium layer. Up till now, we had studied that heart is enclosed in a membranous sac which is called as pericardium. Pericardium is made up of fibrous pericardium and serous pericardium. Yes, between the fibrous and serous pericardium, space is present. This space, what it does, it acts as a lubricant. Now, walls of the heart wall is made up of 3 layers. The outer layer, the outermost layer, you can see here, the outermost layer, it is called as epicardium. Yes, the middle layer is called as mesocardium, and the innermost layer, it is called as endocardium. Okay, now epicardium. Let us first start about epicardium, that is the outermost layer of heart wall. Epicardium is thin, okay, and it is formed of single layer of squamous epithelium cell. When you see epicardium, it is thin layer. It is formed of thin layer of squamous epithelium, okay, and it rests on a basement membrane. Now, what about myocardium? This entire layer is called as myocardium. Now, myocardium, it is the middle thick layer of cardiac muscles. Myocardium, it is the middle layer, as I said, yes, and it is very much thick layer. When we see epicardium, it is thin layer made up of flat squamous epithelium cells, whereas endocardium also, it is protective in function. But when we see mesocardium, it is the thickest layer of the heart, okay, and this myocardium, it consists of muscles, and these muscles, they are responsible for contraction and relaxation of the heart. The heart contracts and relaxes. Yes, so how is it possible? This is possible with the help of myocardium layer. Now we'll study about external anatomy of heart or external structure of heart. Now when we see human heart is 4 chambered. Here you can see 1, okay, 2, this is 3 and 4. Okay, so human heart is 4 chambered. The upper 2 superior chambers are called as auricles, whereas the lower chambers are called as ventricles. You can see these are the 2 upper chambers. Can you see this? Right atrium, or atrium is also called as auricle. So the heart, when we see the external structure of heart, we can see heart is made up of 4 chambers. The above chambers or the upper chambers, they are called as atrium or auricles, whereas the lower chambers, they are called as ventricles. Okay, now the upper chambers, they are called as right atrium or right auricle, left atrium or left auricle, and the posterior chambers are right ventricle and left ventricle. Now the auricles or the atrium, let us say auricles, the right auricle and the left auricle, they're separated from the ventricle by a transverse groove here, okay, by a transverse groove, and here is the name of the transverse groove is called as coronary sulcus. So how the auricles and ventricles are separated from each other? Through a coronary sulcus, okay. Coronary sulcus, they are also called as atrioventricular groove. At the same time, the 2 ventricles, they are externally separated from each other by two grooves, the anterior and the posterior interventricular sulci. The two ventricles, just now we had studied ventricles kya hai? Lower chambers. How the lower chamber, that is right ventricle and left ventricle, they are also separated from each other. Okay, they are also separated from each other with the help of interventricular sulci. Coronary arteries and coronary veins run through this sulci. As I said, that this is the sulci. Yes, auricle and ventricles, they are separated from each other with the help of coronary sulci. Coronary sulci, it has what? It has coronary veins and coronary arteries. Can you see this red color? These are all coronary veins. Whereas the blue color, they are coronary veins. Okay. Whereas the red color, it indicates coronary arteries. Okay. Now, pulmonary trunk arises from the right ventricle and aorta from the left. Pulmonary trunk, can you see this part? Yes, this entire part is what? Pulmonary trunk. So pulmonary trunk, from where does it arises? This entire pulmonary trunk, it arises from the right ventricle. Can you see this part? This entire part is right ventricle. This is right ventricle and this is left ventricle. Right ventricle gives rise to pulmonary trunk. You can see here, right ventricle gives rise to pulmonary trunk, whereas left ventricle, this left ventricle, it gives rise to aorta. Can you see this entire part? This is called as aorta. Okay. Now the pulmonary trunk, okay, as I said that this is the pulmonary trunk. Okay. So the pulmonary trunk, it bifurcates into right and left artery. Okay, this is regarding aorta. The pulmonary trunk, it gives rise to right pulmonary artery. Okay, right pulmonary artery and left pulmonary artery. ये जो pulmonary trunk है वो क्या करता है? It divides or it gives rise to left pulmonary arteries and right pulmonary arteries. Similarly, aorta, okay, aorta, it is divisible into three regions, that is ascending aorta, or arch of aorta, and descending aorta. Okay, aorta, this part is aorta we had studied. Yes, pulmonary trunk is given by right ventricle, whereas left ventricle, it gives rise to aorta. So this aorta is divisible into three parts. Okay, ascending trunk, arch of aorta, and descending aorta. Here, more specific diagram. Okay, this is the aorta entire. Okay, so aorta is divisible into ascending aorta. Ascending means going upward. Okay, so blood supplies to the upper parts of the body. So ascending aorta, arch of aorta. Okay, and then descending aorta. Descending aorta, it supplies blood to the left ventricle. Now the aortic arch, it gives out three arteries. This is the aortic arch. Okay, this part was aortic arch. Here is the ascending aorta or arch of aorta, and descending aorta. So this aortic arch, it gives rise to three arteries. वो तीन arteries कौन से हैं? Brachiocephalic trunk, okay, or brachiocephalic artery, then left common artery, and third is left subclavicle artery. Here you can see this is aorta, okay, and it is giving rise to three arteries. First artery is brachiocephalic artery or brachiocephalic artery, left common carotid artery, and left subclavian artery. Similarly, the right atrium, okay, this is the right auricle. The right auricle, it receives superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Okay, we are studying external structure of heart. Up till now we had studied that it consists of upper chambers. Okay, heart is mesodermal in origin. Heart consists of 4 chambers. The upper chambers, they are called as atrium or auricles. It basically consists of right auricle, left auricle, and right auricle and left auricle. Okay, and the lower they are called as right ventricle and left ventricle. Auricles, that is upper chambers of heart, they are separated from lower chambers of heart with the help of coronary sulcus. That is the transverse groove. This is the transverse groove. This is called as coronary sulcus. Coronary sulcus में क्या होता है? Coronary arteries and coronary veins. Two ventricles, that is right ventricle and left ventricle. How they are separated? They are separated from each other by interventricular sulcus. Okay, then right at the right ventricle जो है, right ventricle वो क्या करता है? It gives rise to pulmonary trunk. जबकि left ventricle क्या करता है? Left ventricle it gives rise to aorta. Okay, pulmonary trunk क्या करता है? It gives rise to pulmonary artery and pulmonary veins. You can see here right pulmonary artery and left pulmonary arteries. Also, yes, and this aorta, this next part is aorta. Left ventricle क्या करता है? It gives rise to aorta. Okay, aorta में 3 parts होते हैं. The upper one is called as ascending trunk. The middle one is called as arch of aorta, and the descending जो downward जा रहा है उसे बोलते हैं descending aorta. जो aortic arch है, जो central part है, वो क्या करता है? It gives out 3 arteries. Okay, which are the 3 aortic arteries? The first aortic artery is brachiocephalic trunk. Second one is left common carotid artery, and third one is left subclavian artery. Okay, at the same time, right auricle जो है उसमें क्या होता है? What does it receive? It receives superior vena cava and inferior vena cava along its dorsal side. Okay, now at the same time the pulmonary veins open into left atrium along the dorsal surface of the heart. Pulmonary veins, see here, okay, these two are pulmonary veins. Yes, so where do these pulmonary veins open? This pulmonary veins, it opens into the left atrium here. Okay, it opens into the left atrium. See the pulmonary veins, that is right pulmonary vein and left pulmonary vein. It opens into the left auricle. Okay, so we had studied about auricles and ventricles, external structure of the heart. In that we had studied about auricles and ventricles, about pulmonary trunk and aorta. Okay, and aorta also again which arteries does it give, and about pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. So I stop here with the lecture. This was external structure of heart. In next lecture we are going to study about internal structure of heart in detail. So thank you.